Welcome to coverage of the 2018 Attitude Awards, an event that shines a spotlight on the successes and achievements of people living with a disability.
The Attitude Employment Awards. Sam, would you do the honours?
Sure. Please welcome to the stage the chair of ACC, Dame Paula Rebstock and John Campbell.
This is the most inspirational awards that are given in this country, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy the evening. We all win when workplaces see the person before the disability, when they see the strengths, skills, and attributes someone brings first and foremost. Hiring a diverse range of people, including those with a disability, isn't just the right thing to do. It also helps the bottom line. All of the three finalists that we have here tonight rightfully looked at the person's talents, skills, and attributes, and they have made hiring people with disabilities and from a diverse background integral to part of their business. On behalf of everyone here tonight, we thank them. John, please introduce our finalists.
Thank you very much, Dame Paula. It's lovely to be here this evening. We are here to celebrate tonight people who give enough of a damn and who are decent enough and who understand the power of inclusion and participation to hire people who sometimes struggle to get work. So it's a fantastic category. The finalists are Joanne Scholes and Dharam Ganda from BP2Go, Greymouth, Tony Sanson from Horticultural Services, and Ridges Auckland, not far away from us here, for Dans Le Noir.
BP2Go in Greymouth has been employing staff with disabilities for almost 30 years.
We work together when they advise us that there's something that they cannot do or are having difficulty with.
I have young onset Parkinson's, and a lot of people like to set limitations for you. And the good thing about working here at BP, it's never been that way.
They're always keen to upskill their staff.
It's taught me a lot of skills like dealing with customers, working with customers.
It's made our staff and our customers aware that there are people with disabilities out there that deserve an equal chance, and they're just as capable as anybody else.
It's an experience into another's world. And the owners of Dans Noir at Auckland's Ridges Hotel deliver a truly authentic experience by employing and training waiters who are blind.
I like to add in a comedian humour. Sometimes they get some of them relaxed, especially the ones that are very nervous. They ask for the colour of the wine. I tell them it's black wine.
The commitment to supporting people into employment has led to a work culture of inclusion.
I think it's a great way to understand what blind people perhaps go through on a day-to-day basis. Probably the most committed, most motivated staff I think I've ever seen.
Tony Sanson and his wife Janine have operated their whanganui business, Horticultural Services, for 13 years. From the beginning, Tony created an inclusive team.
We've never closed the door on individuals who have disabilities. They are some of our most loyal, dedicated, hard-working staff.
Just putting it all back together now, then do a final test.
Michael has MS and has been with the company for 12 months as a mechanic.
It's nice to know that there are people that you work for that are completely in the loop.
I've just fallen in love with doing what I'm doing. This is the kind of job that if you do have a disability, you can achieve your work ethic.
Congratulations to all the finalists and all those who are employing people with disabilities and making a difference in the community. But before we announce the winner and to build a little bit of tension and apprehension, I'd like to welcome a special young man to the stage, Ripu Bhatia. Ripu will accompany our winners with music as they make their way to the stage. Ripu had just completed his journalism degree and was living in Sydney when a meningococcal septicemia struck. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give him a warm welcome? A remarkable young man, Ripu Bhatia.
And the winner of the 2018 Attitude ACC Employer is Joanne Scholes and Dharam Ganda. BP 2 to go, Greymouth.
What do you say? First of all, I'd like to thank Deborah from Workbridge and Greymouth, who made this possible. Our past staff and present staff, and our customers. Thank you.
Now, just before our next award, we have a message from the country's most important boss, the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. The PM has been a regular attendee of these awards, and she would even pay for her own ticket to come along. A politician paying for their own ticket. Yes. She was scheduled to join us tonight. She's unable to make it, but does send her apologies and this video message.
Kia ora koutou katoa. During my time as a Member of Parliament, I've attended the Attitude Awards a number of times, and I've always felt really lucky to do so and been truly impressed by the hard work and the talent of the finalists that you have there. And this year, I know, is going to be no different. Tonight, you'll hear the stories of 24 New Zealanders who have focused their lives to become the very best versions of themselves. These finalists have all overcome significant challenges, and I want to acknowledge each of them for their achievements. You serve as mentors and role models not only to the wider disability community, but to us all. And I know if I was there tonight, I would probably shed a wee tear listening to all of your stories, possibly from past experience. I'd also like to acknowledge all the family members who, through the commitment and love you show, also play a significant role. Now, as a government, we are committed to working together with the disability community to build a more inclusive, a more accessible New Zealand where everyone can achieve and succeed. Tonight's finalists highlight the passion, the dedication and the energy of those already making a difference in communities across Aotearoa. And finally, I want to acknowledge tonight's inductee in the Lion Foundation Attitude Hall of Fame, Colleen Brown. She's a true legend, a woman who has lived her life supporting families in the wider disability community. I salute you, Colleen. Enjoy tonight's celebrations and congratulations to you all. I suspect we'll be hearing a lot more from every single one of you in the future.
The Attitude Emerging Athlete Award is sponsored by Drake Maddox. Please welcome New Zealand General Manager Gai Barton, joined by Disability Rights Commissioner Paula Tesorero.
Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to be here again. This is our 10th time I've been up here for the Attitude Awards. And Drake Maddox are thrilled again to be a sponsor of the awards because we get the chance to celebrate many, many unsung heroes this evening. And as well as that, we get to be part of joining and being with people who strive to be the best that they can, no matter what their ability.
Kia ora tātou. Changing attitudes towards disability is critical in my view if we want to really meaningfully shift the dial for disabled New Zealanders, and having positive role models is essential to enable us to achieve that. When young people without a disability see what young disabled New Zealanders can do on the sporting field, it changes attitudes. Our 3 finalists for the Emerging Athlete Award, who are Callan Edwards, Neelam O'Neill and Rachel Maia.
"25-year-old sharpshooter Neelam O'Neill has Paralympic glory squarely in her sights. New Zealand's only female parachuting international, Neelam is on the Elite Pathway to Podium program. As the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics approach, she's ranked inside New Zealand's top 3 parachuters. Neelam was born with a degenerative form of spina bifida and increasingly lives with pain from rheumatoid arthritis.
It's 90% mental game compared to the 10% action. It's about being in sync with yourself, physically and mentally. Shooting's brought me so many great things that I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have it.
Callan was 5 years old when he lost his arm in a car accident. He never let it stop him participating in sports his mates were playing, including rugby. A natural in the water, he was quickly identified as a potential Paralympian.
When I lost my arm, I didn't really let it change my perception on swimming. I just kind of jumped in the pool and changed a couple of things around, and I just kept pushing through everything.
Last year in Berlin, at his first international meet, he won bronze in the 100-metre butterfly, and he holds 23 New Zealand records across all strokes. Whanganui Mama 3, Rachel Maia, has been turning heads on the international paraclimbing circuit. Rachel started climbing at the age of 16. In her very first competition, she fell and broke her ankle.
The condition in my ankle is degenerative, to the point where 5 years ago I couldn't walk.
As the condition deteriorated, the pain increased. Rachel made a choice to ignore the pain and instead use mental focus and exercise. By placing one foot tentatively in front of the other, her strength grew. 20 years after her accident, she entered her first international competition.
I placed 4th at the World Champs. That's a New Zealand record for either paraclimbers or able-bodied climbers.
And the Attitude Emerging Athlete Award winner is Rachel Maia.
Unreal, and all my notes are on my phone, which Don is using to go live for Climbing New Zealand. So I guess that's my first thank you to Climbing New Zealand, to my coach Rob Moore, our head setter Ian, for my Taranaki climbing team. You all believed in me and kept reminding me to believe in myself. And that's what makes a difference in your performance. I talk about life being something that you get through one hold at a time. Like when you're climbing, you're just in the moment and you're thinking just one more hold, just one more hold. And I've had people who have believed in me and believed that I can make that next hold, and that's what makes all the difference. And I wouldn't be here today without them. Believe in yourself, and thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of the finalists we honour tonight are making a difference in a variety of ways.
They're all drawing attention to the potential of people who live with disabilities. The Attitude of Making a Difference Award highlights incredible Kiwis who spend their lives supporting others.
Yes, indeed. And our sponsor is the Ministry of Health. Would you please welcome to the stage the Acting Deputy Director, General Disability, Matthew Parr, and the Honourable Carmel Sepuloni, the Minister for Social Development and Disability Issues.
Thank you, Simon and Sam. Talofa lava, kia ora koutou, malolele, and greetings to all of you. Can I acknowledge that these individuals continue to find the time, energy and enthusiasm to help make a difference in the lives of so many others. Can I acknowledge tonight those that aren't here, that have been working alongside us to work towards that common vision of making New Zealand a truly inclusive society, a society where everyone is supported to fulfil their potential. Can I probably end there, actually. I think those are enough words. Can I hand it over to Matthew just to say a couple of words on behalf of the Ministry of Health as one of the sponsors.
I'm really pleased to be here tonight with the Minister and you all to recognise excellence across the disability sector. On behalf of the Ministry of Health, we're very proud to sponsor the Making a Difference Award.
So it gives me and Matthew great pleasure to announce the finalists for this year's Making a Difference Awards. They are Kim Robinson, Umi Asaka and Martine Abel Williamson.
Umi Asaka is an agent of change. Umi has osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bone disease. Her fragile bones have broken 15 times. But that doesn't stop her from getting out to the wild beaches for cleanups.
You can see the impact of climate change so clearly. I do everything that I can do.
Umi campaigns for social justice, and in July, that meant sleeping out on Dunedin's freezing streets to raise awareness of hundreds of Kiwis sleeping rough. Kim has a high profile as a deaf rights campaigner with a sustained history of advocacy. He helped introduce visual fire alarms and the relay phone service for the deaf into Aotearoa.
I decided enough was enough. I wanted to have control over my access to the phone.
Kim's advocacy has led to getting sign language interpreters at events and on TV programs of national importance. Namibian-born Martine Abel Williamson wears many hats. She is Treasurer of the World Blind Union, Chair of the Auckland Disability Law Centre, Vice President of Blind Citizens New Zealand, lead of the Asia-Pacific Regional UN Advocacy Network. She's also on panels for agencies including ACC.
My voluntary work often is sort of the passion because the struggles that we work through are really just amazing. I feel I get home at the end of the day and made a difference.
She also wrote New Zealand's world-leading policy on the safe design of shared spaces where pedestrians and cars share the road. Martine sees little end to her work. There's simply too much to be done. And she encourages others in the disability community to step up.
I say to fellow disabled people that we have to be at the table, otherwise we're going to be on the menu.
Congratulations to you all. And the winner is Martine Abel Williamson.
This is really surreal. Firstly, I want to thank the sponsors, Ministry of Health and Attitude Trust and everybody. And I must say, with all my travels, my husband, who's here tonight, has been asking me, when can he have an appointment with me? And I said, thanks to SKYCITY, you have a night with me tonight in the SKYCITY Hotel. I'm part of a lot of organisations, so although I stand here with a trophy that I still need to figure out what it is, most of my work is part of organisations, so the results of what I'm doing is really the results of collective effort. Thank you, everybody.
When I was growing up, I thought that my disability would hold me back in life. People saw me as a child, and I felt like it would never end. But I turned it into a positive, which for my aspirations means turning unique characters that I can bring to life on the big screen and on TV. The finalists in the Attitude Youth Award have found ways to prove themselves, raising awareness for disabilities in the process.
Well said. Representing our big-hearted sponsor, Barfoot and Thompson, is Jean Smith, and accompanying Jean is Erin Simpson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm incredibly honoured to be part of the Attitude Awards this evening and proud to present the Youth Spirit Award on behalf of Barfoot and Thompson. The three incredible, deserving finalists remind us all that we can do more when it comes to making our communities a little better.
There's nothing better than looking at the youth of New Zealand today and knowing that they have everything in front of them. It is something very, very special. Our nominees tonight carry spirit, obviously. They carry magic. They carry the X Factor. They carry a moonbeam in their pocket. Which brings me to the nominees. The finalists for the Attitude Youth Spirit Award: Alicia Kappa, Jaden Movold, and Kirina Cassidy.
15-year-old Kirina Cassidy has a passion for his Māori tikanga. He's determined to build his mana and rises to the challenges of living with spina bifida. He's a kapahaka leader, involved in managing after-school programs, and he competes in manu korero speech events.
Kapahaka, ngā manu korero, which is a Māori speech competition. Anything to do with loving being Māori, then I'm there.
He spends long weekends on the snow with a goal of competing at the Paralympics. At an age when many teenagers lack motivation, 14-year-old Jaden Movold is focused and determined. Born with spina bifida, Jaden's endured 25 major surgeries.
6 weeks ago, I had this major spinal surgery, but I came back to swimming, worked really, really hard. Since I've beaten my 200-metre backstroke time by 35 seconds.
Jaden has recognised he has a role in supporting the disability community. He's an ambassador for the Jonesy Youth Foundation, involved with Achilles International New Zealand and the Yes Disability Resource Centre. Alicia Kappa may have difficulty communicating verbally due to her cerebral palsy, but she's cultivated her skills of observation. That's a perfect fit for her proposed career in criminology and her love of travel. Together they developed a project called Wheelie Wacky Adventures, posting videos on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. They have a following of 1,200 people.
And the winner of the Attitude Youth Spirit Award is Jaden Movold.
Just like to say before I start, if I have a voice crack, I'm sorry, but you know, it's that age. Firstly, I'd like to thank Attitude for this award. This means a lot, and it means that I can continue to do what I do in the community. I'd like to thank my parents. Thank you guys so much. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. Thanks, guys.
We're going to go to something a little bit different now. In the past 14 years, Attitude Pictures has filmed with more than 500 families of disabled people. A common theme, as you've already learned, is determination to achieve more and to truly be the best version of themselves.
Every year, there's always been one story that impacts the Attitude production staff. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the big screens.
Stand by, go! Hayley's wheelchair, it's going to be a work in progress. The current chair that she's got is mainly for household use.
That she's too old, the wheels wobble, but she makes do with what she's got. That's Hayley.
Now, I happen to understand that Hayley is in the room. Hayley, please come on up to the stage.
Hayley, fantastic. We were absolutely blown away. Really, that's just incredible, incredible spirit and what Attitude's all about. And do you know why you're here this evening? No. I have a very special friend here tonight. Nick from Invacare has something for you here.
At Invacare, we have a promise to do everything we can to help make life's experiences possible. Now, equipment is a great tool to do that, so On behalf of myself and everyone at Invacare New Zealand, it's our absolute privilege to be able to gift you this chair so you can go out there and challenge what you're already doing and find new experiences to make possible. You're an inspiration to us all. Great work.
I'd just like to thank the Attitude. I'd also like to thank my mum and also my family back home.
It's my pleasure now to introduce Attitude General Manager and Chair of the Attitude Trust, Dan Buckingham, to announce the 2018 inductee into the Lion Foundation Attitude Hall of Fame.
The person we're about to celebrate has become almost the mother of the disability sector. She has become the mother of the disability sector. Colleen Brown is someone who our own CEO and founder, Robin Scott-Vincent, called upon when she needed support with her son many years ago, and she's still someone that we call upon when we need some sage advice. Can you please give the warmest, the biggest round of applause as she makes her way to the stage, coming up with her son Trevor's, Colleen Brown. Before Colleen gets a moment to speak, we have a citation to be read. Robbie Francis was the Supreme winner back in 2009. She was the Entrepreneur winner in 2017. She is the Project Manager for 2018. Dr. Roberta Francis.
Colleen Brenda Brown was made a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2001 for extensive community service and for services to education. We honour her tonight on behalf of the thousands of families who have raised and who are raising a child with a disability, or who have sought her wise counsel across 38 years of dedication to the disability, health and education sectors of New Zealand. Colleen and her husband Barry are proud South Aucklanders, having raised their 4 children there over the past 34 years. Second child Travis was born with Down syndrome. Colleen's experience in education made her determined not to limit what Travis might achieve, nor the course his life would take. Stoic, assertive, and determined, Colleen set about understanding the system, then figuring out how she might drive change. Colleen supported families to challenge the Education Act Section 10 to ensure disabled children could access the educational support they needed. As a member of the Manukau City Council Community Board and as a Manukau City Councillor, chairing 2 committees for County's Manukau District Health Board, and she was a member of the Expert Reference Group advising the government on the 2016-2026 New Zealand Disability Strategy. Says Colleen, families of people with disabilities are a community that has been marginalised and left behind. Professionals don't understand how parents despair. Colleen, the floor is yours.
Look, thank you all very much indeed. I feel very humbled by the award. With this award, I join people I admire so much and who have contributed immensely to the disability sector for many, many years. And first of all, I'd like to introduce our son, Travis. He's the reason I'm here tonight. When Trav was born and we were told he had Down syndrome, I said to my mother, I'd never known anyone with Down syndrome before, and she replied, yes, you did, you knew Gavin. And I replied, but you never said he had Down syndrome. And she said, why should I? He was Gavin, who lived in our community, in our street, and he was part of us. He didn't need a label. The lesson learnt. You do not need to label anyone in order for them to be included in your community and in society. And being part of a community as a right is critical. And if we can change attitudes one home at a time, one street at a time, one school at a time, then we're well on our way to being a sincerely kind society. We can all do things differently. We can work together. We can start by asking ourselves 2 very simple questions. Is this a kind thing to do? And would I like it done to me or my family or whānau? And we can do this together. Thank you all very much.
There's long been a call to ensure that people with disabilities have a strong voice and are engaged in decision-making processes about their lives. Our next award category is the Attitude Leadership Award, presented to a person with an intellectual disability who's displayed great leadership. Here to announce our 3 fabulous finalists is Mark Ellis, representing our sponsor Datacom, and the equally fabulous duo of Don McKenzie and Buckwheat.
Kia ora and good evening. Tonight you will hear the stories of leaderships demonstrated by Alex, William and Billy Joe. Each one of our finalists' achievements are worthy of celebration and provide a true source of inspiration.
Here you go. You're right, Don?
Hi.
Right.
How are you?
How are you this evening? I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Are you looking as well as ever? Oh, yes. Now, did any of you see the Crips on Cars? That was a great series, wasn't it, eh? Yeah.
Could you imagine me fitting in a Mini?
Now, we've got a job to do here at Buckwheat.
Yep.
I'm going to just read out the first name, Alexander Snedden.
And the second finalist is Billy Joe Hunia.
The third is William Lutsky.
Here is my green chair that I'll sit in and used to do a lot of thinking.
24-year-old William Lusky has plenty to mull over. The Dunedin man works juggling responsibilities as a People First national representative to the Ministry of Health, advisory member to Dunedin City Council, as a committee member for his local branch of CCS Disability Action, and a Dunedin People First committee member.
I started off with a work experience to try and find my foot in the door and to try and find a place in the world that I could share and express my ideas and thoughts.
Will's Asperger's led to anxiety. He uses dance as a release. In 2018, at the Dunedin Fringe Festival, he received the Outstanding Emerging Talent Award.
Recently graduated, moving on to my master's, focusing on computer science.
Billy Joe was born severely autistic. He's had a number of setbacks, but he's been able to lead an independent and successful life.
I actually didn't do so well in the first year, so my mother would encourage me to just try it again, so I tried again and succeeded the second time.
Billy Joe's persistence paid off. He's an example to other people with learning disabilities to never give up.
Keep going for your dreams.
Alex Snedden has always strived to surpass any goal he sets himself, and there have been plenty of those. When he was invited to attend the World Down Syndrome Conference in Scotland, he created a 10K run, fundraising among his contacts to cover the cost of travel. When Alex secured his first job as a teenager, he set his sights on working for the Bishop of Auckland. He's moved on, and he's now working for Auckland Rugby, and he's established himself as a disability leader.
Yes, I got Down syndrome. Think positive and just being ourselves.
The 2018 Leadership Award goes to William Lusky.
Hi all. Thanks so much for reviewing my nominations and for allowing me to speak up and share my efforts and contributions to the disability community. Cheers, and thanks hugely all. Yeah, let's all keep speaking up and doing the best that we can and be ourselves. Cheers.
The Attitude Artistic Award attracts nominations from all disciplines: music, painting, photography, comedy, performance art. And this award is sponsored and supported by Healthcare New Zealand. Acting CEO Louise Zaysest is joined by Judy Bailey.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, everyone. Healthcare New Zealand is delighted to be here this evening to once again be supporting the Attitude Awards. really like to acknowledge someone very special who's here with me, and that's Barry. Barry is one of the people we support.
You know, there's an enormous amount of pleasure to be had from any creative endeavour. I believe that one of the most significant benefits of the creative process is the experience of bringing pleasure and joy to other people. The three finalists in the Artistic Achievement Award are Sean Fahey, Virginia Leonard, and Duncan Armstrong.
Duncan was the first person with a learning disability to receive independent funding from Creative NZ.
It's about a man who has Down syndrome. That's not who he is, that's part of who he is. It's about looking for love, it's about acceptance, who I am.
Though grateful for the funding he has received, Duncan says agencies need to be more inclusive.
Don't judge us who we are, because we want our voices to be heard.
My work is about chronic pain and bodily scarring. So the work's cracked and broken, like my body.
As often happens with artists, Virginia Leonard has found that her life experiences are reflected in her art. The mother of two was in a motorcycle accident when she was 20.
So I have a paralysed foot that creates a lot of pain. So the best thing for me to do is to make the work, because then I can give the pain a language.
Sean Fahey, a man with an infectious smile. The freelance artist and illustrator found his calling late in life when he attended a 2015 acting workshop set up by British Theatre Studies lecturer Dr. Laura Hohe. Laura knew immediately that Sean was special.
Sean had a natural talent of physical storytelling. He could carve a story out of the air with his hands.
Meanwhile, Sean used his artistic skills to produce 30,000 illustrations for the New Zealand Sign Language Dictionary. In April this year, Sean was diagnosed with advanced cancer. He left the hospital for one day to see his stepdaughter married. Sean died the following day.
Sean Fahey.
I wish Sean was here today to receive this award. His hopes and ambitions were to see hearing and deaf people working together in partnership equally, and his dream was to spread that idea throughout the world. Sean would have been very excited to be one of the nominations, and to win is just wonderful. I thank you very much, and I love you all.
All our finalists, and many of you here, challenge the perceptions of what it means to live with a disability.
In my experience, challenging people's perceptions of having a disability is not always easy. It takes a lot of hard work, determination and spirit.
So it's fitting that we now move to the Spirit of Attitude Award. The sponsor of this award is Cigna. Would you please welcome Vince Warnock, the head of marketing, accompanied by Willie Wairua and Mark the Mahi Man Decker.
Now at Cigna, we firmly believe that anything can be achieved with the right mental attitude and the right support. And I think you'll agree that the three finalists here tonight are a great example of that, as they've all faced their hardships. And for us, the events like this are really a chance for us to get together and collectively change people's attitudes about what can be achieved with people with disabilities.
You know, spirit in Māori is wairua, so, you know, it means a lot that I can get up here and, you know,
be a part of this award. And also, I'm really honoured to have my good mate, Mark the Mahi man here, who does some amazing work in the community.
I always say, my is, do the mai, treat the treat. Got it? Do the
That's right, do the mahi, get the treats, yeah. So without further ado, the finalists are Isabel Margaret Tamati, Jacinta Tavanga, and Jackie De Bruin.
Jackie De Bruin's infectious laugh and smile is a foil, part of her strategy to accept all that life has thrown at her. Born with a rare form of spina bifida and a shorter leg, Jackie also has epilepsy. Uncontrolled spasm have led to a series of terrible accidents. At age 15, she fell on an iron and endured 3-degree burns to her face. She broke her leg in a car accident at 17. At 23, gangrene took hold and her leg was amputated.
It still didn't stop me. I moved on and tried to be positive about the things that had happened in my life.
Medical complications meant Jackie's plans to travel were put on hold until one day...
I went straight into a travel agent and I booked a ticket.
Jackie spent 2 years travelling. A good move. She met her Dutch husband. Now she's devoting much of her life to helping others. Music has provided healing for Jacinta Tavaga since she began losing her eyesight at 16.
I kind of went down into a severe depression where I had some dark thoughts.
Jacinta spent a lonely 10 years before her GP convinced her to move forward with her life. Thanks to adaptive technologies, she was able to study and graduate with a qualification in mental health and addiction. Now 36, she's an administrator for Pacifica health provider Vakatautua.
The most rewarding part is to show them that someone with a disability can do it.
Retired teacher Isabel Tamati was 74 when a fall changed her life. She experienced an aneurysm. She was told she would never walk or talk again.
It's knowing who you are and what you're doing. That's the crucial thing that I had lost.
Isabel was determined to fight the odds, and so were her children.
I just absolutely refuse to believe it. And I spent my whole life doing things that people tell me I can't do. So I just applied all those same principles to her.
Across 2 years, Isabel's spirit stayed strong. Today, she's proof of the power of the mind.
Their support was awesome. I just hope that I've told them that enough.
The 2018 Spirit of Attitude Award goes to Jackie De Bruin.
I feel humble, but at the same time incredibly proud. Never in my life would I have imagined that I would be on stage in front of such a large audience receiving a prestigious award. I would also like to thank my family and friends, and of course my wonderful husband, for being my biggest advocates. I love you all.
Our final category award for 2018 is the Entrepreneur Award. And every year, this award uncovers people who have developed fantastic businesses or initiatives.
I love this category. These finalists are way cool. And here to tell us more is Matilda Rice and Karen Kane from sponsor APM Enabling Better Roads.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At APM, our mission is to enable better lives. We support more than 20,000 people every year to gain, create or stay in work. The 3 finalists, Cruz, Emma and Timothy, are to be lauded as they each overcame unique constraints by mobilising amazing internal resources.
Now, without further ado, the finalists are Cruz Kappa. Woo! Got some friends here. Emma Sykes and Timothy James Young.
snowboarding accident at the age of 20 meant Tim Young needed to rethink his life plan. Despite the challenges of using a mouse with little hand function, Tim chose to develop his own educational video games.
Because I have my own challenges, I really wanted to set myself up with a career from home.
Since his accident, Tim has completed a Masters of Science in Psychology and a postgraduate certificate in Educational Psychology. It turns out gamifying content is a good way for some students to learn. Tim's now exploring markets for his product. From the day he was born, Cruz Kappa has faced challenges. As a newborn, he survived collapsed lungs. He was later diagnosed with hearing loss. Mainstream schooling in Gisborne was tough, but at Christchurch's Van Ash School, he embraced deaf culture. He graduated from Otago Polytechnic with a Bachelor of Design and promptly set up his own fashion label, Cruz. Now he's rising above the noise in the competitive fashion industry as the first deaf Māori fashion designer. Tony Sykes knew his daughter Emma had talents and abilities. All he had to do was match a business plan to those skills. Emma and her dad had struggled to find her a job, and after unsuccessful door-knocking expeditions, they opted to set up their own business, making candles.
I always knew she had it inside her. This is the case of getting it to, draw it out.
All it took was one social media post by Star Trek actor George Takei to turn the fledgling business into a global success.
You like working?
And the winner of the Attitude Entrepreneur Award is Cruz Kappa.
I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. That was very emotional tonight for me. I'm very honoured and grateful to receive this award, and thank you to Innovator for nominating me. And I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who was so hard. And of course, out here, Matara Kappa is my mom. You know that I couldn't do anything without you. Thank you so much for and have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
And of course, by winning that category, Cruz joins the 8 sensational category winners tonight.
And for now, the finale.
To announce the ACC Attitude Supreme Award, on behalf of our principal sponsor, ACC, Minister Ian Lees-Galloway.
Tēnā tātou katoa, ngā mihi o te pō. I was wondering where you guys got to. Not only do I get to share the stage with New Zealand royalty, Dames Linda and Jules of Huntly, but also to immerse myself in the stories that have been shared tonight, the stories of people challenging expectations, pushing boundaries.
In our eyes, there are no disabilities here. There is only attitude. So the finalists for the Attitude ACC Supreme Award tonight are William Lutsky, Sean Fahey, Jackie De Bruin, Jaden Mogol, Rachel Meyer, BP To Go Greymouth, Martine Abel Williamson, and Cruz Kappa.
And the winner of the Attitude ACC Supreme Award is Martine Abel Williamson.
Do you want me to give you the trophy now, or do you want to speak first? Do you want me to give you the trophy now, or do you want to speak first?
I'll speak first. Wow.
Linda.
Linda. Oh my word. I met these two on TV after moving from South Africa. I'm like, who the hell are these two? And now I had some singing for me. It's awesome. Okay. It's a long night, so I've got only two things to say. The first is that my sister is here with me, and I already I don't want to cry, but my mum couldn't be with us tonight because she's got dementia, but she always, I want to thank her for leading by example. She was a single parent for a long time. I just always thought if I ever stuff up, I'm going to be so ashamed to face her, so I didn't mostly stuff up. I'm so inspired by everybody's stories and what they've done, and I want to thank everybody for inspiring me tonight. Thank you very much. What is it?
An evening of talent, dedication, and inspiration. So many superlatives that could be applied. I hope you've enjoyed the evening. It is the Attitude Awards.
Attitude was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.